Hey everybody, welcome back to Board and Savior. Today we are going to be looking at the top 5 essential board games. Those games that if you're new here, you've just got to try them. Maybe your friend showed you Ticket to Ride. Maybe your grandma made you play Splendor after her birthday party. By the way, could I meet your grandma? She sounds like a pip. Whatever the case is, you played some great modern board game and you said, wait a second, is there more like this? Does it get better than Sorry and Monopoly? It sure as shootin' does. And we're going to talk about those games today. Let's look at the top 5 most essential games of all time. All right, complete honesty, if you have not heard of this game, it is my number 1. It is the number 1 game, the most essential board game for you to play if you're brand new to this hobby. The reason that I'm putting it at number 5 and not number 1 is because it is already so freaking popular, so ubiquitous, that I think there's a really good shot that you've already heard of it, and I don't want you to get to the number 1 game here and be like, I already know that one, clicking off the video, goodbye. No, I don't. That's a bad feeling, it's a bad taste to leave in your mouth, so we're putting it here at 5, and if you already know it, you can just skip on ahead. But if you don't, oh my gosh, this is the board game that starts it all for so many people. It is truly, it's like cliche, it's the board game that started it all for me. I played this once and I said, wait a second, board games can do more than Sorry and Monopoly? Oh, I'm intrigued. How does this game work? Well, very, very quickly, these hexes represent resources. The numbers on them are the numbers you have to roll to get the resources. But it's not just like every time an 8 is rolled, wheat and stone come pouring out of the sky. No, you have to put your little houses, these little settlements, on the hexes, on the corners of the hexes. If an 8 is rolled and your house is on the corner of a hex with a matching number, an 8, you get the stuff that is rolled. So this is a game of positioning yourself, of getting to those hexes that have the juicy resources so that when the numbers are rolled, you can rake in all kinds of good stuff. And then building more settlements, converting your settlements into cities, which get you even more resources, building roads to get you access to even more places to put your settlements, and getting development cards that get you all kinds of good stuff, like letting you steal from your friends or build more roads or move a robber around, which we're not going to talk about. The robber blocks you from getting resources. It doesn't matter. We're not talking about every single rule. We're just giving you the basics. Why the heck is this game so essential? First of all, resources, huge in board games. If you're here for any amount of time, you will learn that, boy oh boy, wood and stone and bricks and that's in so many freaking games. Good luck avoiding it, to be perfectly honest. And this is a good introduction to that kind of idea. Second of all, luck and strategy. Luck and strategy is huge in board games. This game, lucky. Rolling dice. There's always going to be some level of randomness. But you mitigate that luck by being smart in the game. You probably don't want to put one of your buildings down here, where the only way that you get sheep is by rolling a 2 on those dice. It's pretty unlikely, but you can be smart and put your buildings where things are likely to be rolled. 6s and 8s are very likely to be rolled on 2 dice, much more than 1s and 2s. Well, 1s are impossible, sorry. 2s and 12s. So that is how strategy and luck comes into play here, and that's huge in this game and huge in the gaming scene. And finally, negotiation is big in this game and is very big in board gaming. You can trade your resources with anybody around the table when it's your turn. You can say, I've got a lot of wood and I don't really need it right now. I'm trying to build a city. Hey, does anybody want to give me wheat for this wood? And someone might say, yes, I am interested in that. And then you can do so. You got to make those trades sweet for the other players. But hey, that's how negotiation works. This is Catan. I swear to you, this is like the most essential game that there is. If you haven't played it, go for it. It's like the Citizen Kane of board games. If you're into movies and you haven't seen Citizen Kane, you probably should. If you're trying to get into board games, you probably should. What do you remember? The Ben who lives under the sink was on top of me. He was about to bite me, and then nothing. What happened? We saved you. This is Dixit. And whenever you try to say the name of this game, make sure you say it kind of fast like that, Dixit. You don't want to be putting a pause in the middle here. Your friends will laugh at you for saying a naughty word. What the heck is this game? This is a party game, which, like Catan, plays 3 to 4 players. Party games usually play greater player counts. This one plays up to 6 people. So if you've got a bigger group, break out a game like Dixit. How does it work? Well, if you are the active player, when it is your turn, you're going to have a little hand of cards. You're going to pick one of the cards, and you are going to give the table a clue. This clue can be anything you can think of. It can be a sound, it can be a word, it can be a sentence, it can be a quote, it can be the name of a book, it can be an action. Whatever you want your clue to be, you can give that as your clue. And then everybody else around the table is going to look at their hand of cards, which the cards are like this. They're beautiful, weird, dreamlike pictures. And they're going to pick a card from their hand that they think best represents that clue that you gave, which, let's say, for example, you gave the clue golf, and this was your card. And you're thinking, well, there's grass on a golf green, right? That counts. That tracks. And everybody else picks their cards. Someone says, ooh, a sand trap. Someone else says, oh, these rolling hills remind me of a golf course. And a couple people are going to have clues that are cards that don't really match the clue because it's just whatever you got in your hand. You're just doing your best. When everybody has submitted their cards, the active player shuffles them up, puts them out randomly in these spots here, and then everybody, except for the active player, is going to guess which card belonged to the active player, to the clue giver. Here's the catch, though. Everybody else around the table is trying to figure out whose card was the active player's. They get points for getting that right. The active player only gets points if someone correctly guesses their card, but not everyone. Because, of course, instead of the clue golf, you could say a piece of grass holding a knife. You could give them exactly what your card represents, but then you get nothing because everyone guessed your card. You are trying to give a weird, subjective, not quite right clue in the interest of getting some people to guess your card, but not everybody. And that just leads to these wonderful moments where you're giving weird clues that barely connect, that you know that one person across the table, they're going to put it together, but nobody else is. It is so much fun, and then it's so much fun as the other players to try to say, that person just gave the clue, awooga! What the hell card in my hand matches awooga? Actually, you know what? This one kind of does. And then everybody guesses that player's card because somehow they had a card in their hand that perfectly encapsulated awooga. It happens all the time. This game is so silly. It's so creative, and it's such a safe, fun kind of game where you can just be weird and creative and unique, and everyone around the table is going to support that and like be excited to share that with you. It's just a fun, like, great game for hanging out and having a good time. This is Dixit. Have a blast with it. Next up, the Quacks of Quedlinburg. Give me a second. Now this is definitely Quacks of Quedlinburg. It says it right on the box. I don't know what happened last time. That's on me. I'll own it. I bungled it. This is a push your luck style game where you are an alchemist competing with the other players around the table to brew the perfect potion. The trick, though, is that you don't know what the heck ingredients you're going to pull out of your little ingredient bag. Why that is happening, I don't know. Why you can't just look in your bag before you pull it out if you're an alchemist, I don't really get the plot of it, but the actual action, very fun. So I just pulled out this. It's 2 points. I love 2 points. I pulled out this one. Oh, another 2 points. I am just racking up these freaking points. Another point? You might be thinking, wait a second, this doesn't seem very exciting. All of these white chips are just giving you points. But wait! I didn't tell you something. If you pull out a value of 8 or more of these white chips, your potion explodes in your face. So, of course, you are risking a potion explosion quite often. Once you've pulled out a certain amount of white chips, there's one of these white chips in here that is worth 3 points, and so your potion might blow up. If I've got 5 out on the board here, if I pull that 3, That's the next one I pull, Explosion. But it's a push your luck style game. I don't think I'm going to draw the 3. There's like 5 chips in here. There's no chance I draw the 3. I did. I swear. Look at it. Zoom in. It really is the 3. My potion explodes, and all of my friends laugh at me, and I don't get as many points as they do for this round. There's a bunch of rounds, so it's not like your potion explodes and you're out of the game. You're just kind of set back for a round. So it's not the end of the world if your potion blows up, but it is worse. You don't want your potions to blow up. In addition to these white chips, I just didn't pull any of them. There are also a bunch of multicolored chips, orange and green and blue and red and black, and there's purple and yellow that are added in like later in the game, in later rounds. All of them do unique, delightful things where you pull them out and you go, ooh, I get some extra goodies. It's fantastic. All of these chips do different things, and as you get more advanced, as you get more comfortable with the game, you can flip over these books and they do even different things, and there are more books in the box. If you get bored, you can switch up what the ingredients do. It's fantastic. This is such a goofy, fun, silly game. You're rooting for your opponent's potions to explode. You're like, I've got 5 chips in this bag. Only one of them blows me up, like what just happened. I'll never draw the one that blows me up. And then, as you can see, oftentimes you are surprised. Everyone laughs at you. It's fantastic. It is a goofy, silly game, but the complexity added by the ingredients doing different things gives it enough depth that I, who plays like a ton of board games, will keep coming back to this one. Absolutely in love with this game. So good.
You saved me. Who's we? I can't see you.
We are the Bens beyond, the last fragments of life in a dying universe, the surveyors of all that was and all that could be.
Number 2 is 7 Wonders. And I know, I'm so sorry. I just said 2 numbers like right back to back, and now you're very confused. You're going, wait a second, did he just say that game 7 is called 2 Wonders? That's not the number of wonders that there are. No, you've got it backwards. It's the other way around. Just reverse it in your head, you'll be fine. This is a card drafting game. You might be used to games where you get dealt 7 cards and those are your cards. It's not the case here. Instead, you will choose one of these cards to keep, and you will pass the other 6 to your neighbor. Your neighbor on this side is doing the same thing. They're choosing 7 cards, passing you 6. Then you'll have 6 cards to choose from. You'll keep 1, pass 5, and you'll go this way until there's not cards anymore. And all of the cards that you're picking, you are adding to your tableau, which is another board gaming mechanism, tableau building, which basically just means the stuff that you have in front of you. Right now, what I'm looking at, I've got some resources over here. I've got some points at the end of the game. I've got some military might, which I can use to fight with my players on either side of me, like literally the people sitting to the left and right of me. And I've got some science, which turns into points at the end of the game, depending on the symbols that you got. We don't need to talk about everything. It's all, there's a bunch of stuff going on, but everything is kind of individually simple. You'll get it. Trust. You can also build your wonders. There are like the 7 classical wonders of the world. I've got the Statue of Rhodes. There's the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. There's the Library of Alexandria. Those classic, ancient Greek kind of stuff, that era. Everybody knows that era. You're building the wonders. And that's another fun little thing. All the players' wonders are different and give you different abilities, unlock new things, which is a funky little thing to mess around with. This is also a somewhat rare game that plays up to 7 people. I think it's 2 to 7 players can play this game. So kind of no matter what your gaming group is, you can play it, and the game plays really well at all of those numbers. Maybe not as well at 2, but there's a 7 Wonders duel that you can play with too. There's a game specifically designed for 2 people, which is also really, really good. Highly recommend this game. If you are just getting into this hobby, this teaches you truly so many different mechanisms that are essential to this hobby, and it's just a really solid game to boot. 7 Wonders. We have talked about games with resources that you use to build cities and libraries and things. We've talked about games where you can be creative and use your imagination. But what if you just want to freaking hit something? Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. might just be the game for you. This is a cooperative game where you and your friends will become fantastical adventurers, maybe a spellcaster, maybe the Red Guard who's got this kind of crazy hook thing on a chain that he can throw out and smack people and slice people up with. It's great fun. It's great fun for everyone who isn't the NPCs that you're hacking and slashing through. This is kind of similar to a Dungeons & Dragons style game where there is adventure after adventure, quest after quest, new items to discover, new little fantastical baddies and beasties to defeat, but Dungeon Master's not required here. Usually Dungeons & Dragons, you've got to have someone who plans everything, someone who is every NPC. Here, everyone's just a player getting to do the fun combat stuff, role-play, decision-making kind of thing. You don't have to have someone who plans every session, who does all the work. You can just all show up and play this game together. You might be thinking, all of that sounds like it's going to require a ton of rules learning. There's going to be like a day where you just sit down and you like read a rule book for 2 hours. No! This is a game for relatively new people to board gaming. You can handle it, I swear, because this has one of the best rulebooks in all of board games. It intentionally takes a relatively dense and complicated rule system and it strips it down to something extremely, extremely simple. The first scenario has streamlined rules, streamlined everything. You can get into it and start playing within no time. Session 2, the second map of this game, comes along and says, hey, here are just a couple more rules to keep in mind. Just adds a little bit. Session 3 comes along and it's like, hey, here's a little bit more to think about. It builds on itself so that it is not overwhelming. You don't have to have one session that is just like 2 hours of rules learning. But by the end of a few sessions, you are playing the full game and it is truly, really doable. I have seen many people who are not super familiar with board games get into this and after just a couple sessions be playing a pretty dense, thinky game without any trouble at all. If you want that kind of D&D fighting adventure game, but you don't want one that's super complicated or overwhelms you, Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion is the game for you. Plus, here's a little pro tip. This game has like 30-ish scenarios in it. If you think that sounds like plenty, great. Just get this. But if you're like, I want more, there's a game called Gloomhaven, no Jaws of the Lion, just Gloomhaven, and Frosthaven that add literally hundreds more combats, new scenarios, new items, new everything. If you end up loving this game, there is no end to the content for it, so you could play this game every day for the rest of your life and have brand new things happening all the time. Check this one out, I implore you.
Ben's Beyond. Why have you brought me here? To avert calamity, to give a chance, to restore order. We are too many. You don't mean... Dude, it's so cheesy to say, you don't mean, and then perform an audible ... Yeah, take some acting lessons. But full transparency, we absolutely do mean. Doom the clones. Save the universe.
Wait, before you click away, please like this video, comment below with your favorite board games, and subscribe to my channel. If you don't, my daughter will die. I don't know what the scenario is that I'm drawing up here. I guess like someone has kidnapped her and they will release her or kill her depending on the number of likes this video gets. If that works as an effective guilt trip, then like let's go with that, I guess. Also, if you want to support this channel even more than that, if you really liked your time here, there's a link in the description to my Ko-Fi page if you want to send a couple bucks my way, maybe fund a few more board games coming in so that I can stop just recommending Catan over and over again. I'm sorry! It's a good one. It's worth the recommendation. I think it's worth your time. That's all I've got for you. I hope you have a lovely week. I will see you next Wednesday. Toodaloo!